To be called SAITO is often to be seen as someone who received low-quality education, someone presumed to be less intelligent, less exposed, or less capable. Over time, this perception has been normalized so much so that many students internalize it long before they ever step into the world beyond school. But where did this narrative come from? And more importantly, who does it serve? I attended public school for both my basic education and junior high school. At the time, I did not fully understand the weight society attached to that label. But as I gained exposure, I began to notice how quickly people formed opinions based on the type of school one attended, often without considering context, efforts, or even outcomes. Today, when people look at where I am now, it becomes very evident that the type of school you attend does not define intelligence, ambition, or future. What shaped me were the values I built, the resilience I developed, and the opportunities I pursued, even though they were very limited in these schools that I attended. Yet, the stereotypes persist. Recently, I came across a video featuring young girls from an initiative called SAITO, which is made up of primary school students who proudly identify as SAITO in Ghana. They speak confidently, they articulate their thoughts clearly, and they demonstrate a level of self-awareness that challenges every assumption society often makes about public schools. Watching them was a powerful reminder. The issue has never been about SAITO. The issue has always been the story we tell about it. Now, this narrative is not harmless. When young people repeatedly hear that their school is inferior, it affects how they see themselves. Their confidence can even erode, aspirations can shrink, and some can even begin to believe that their future is already compromised simply because of where they were educated. Even beyond school, these perceptions follow students into adulthood. Sometimes in hiring spaces, societies, and professional environments, people are sometimes evaluated not by their competence, but by the perceived prestige of the institutions they attended. In such moments, the educational inequality that we've been fighting against quietly reproduces itself. But education was never meant to work this way. A school does not define intelligence. A school does not determine what. A school does not limit potential. At the same time, changing this narrative requires more than individual confidence. It demands collective responsibility. So, this is what I have for those who attended public schools. Pride matters. Being educated is something to own, not to apologize for. Public school students should speak confidently about where they come from, knowing that their journey is valid and their achievements are earned. School does not define the person defines the school. For society at large, it is time we interrogate our assumptions. Talent exists across all communities. What differs is not ability, but access to resources and opportunities. Attaching intelligence to school branding reinforces classism and deepens inequality. Employers and institutions also have a role to play. Selecting candidates based on the type of school they attended, rather than their skills, their experience, and their potential, undermines merit and excludes capable individuals who may have thrived despite systematic constraint. And finally, this conversation must return us to policy. If we truly want to dismantle stereotypes around SAITO, then public schools must be adequately resourced and supported. We must improve infrastructure, quality teaching, and learning materials. We need teacher motivation and safe learning environment. And these should not be seen as privileges. They are necessities. Equity is not achieved by ignoring difference, but by investing intentionally where gaps exist. Redefining SAITO is not about denying the challenges public schools face. It is about refusing to allow those challenges to define the children who pass through them. When we change how we see public schools, we change how students see themselves. And that shift, quiet but powerful, has the potential to transform futures.